Welcome to Real Judaism with Rabbi Klapper. Unfiltered wisdom for Jewish life.
איך תיטהר מחשבותינו אם לא נשתדל לנקויסו מן המומים שמטיל בו הטבע הגופני? How can we purify our thoughts if we don't try? If we don't try to clean them from the different mumim, the different, how do you translate mum into English? Blemishes, from the blemishes that naturally a person has. Teva gufani aramidus kulam tzrichas kamo kein tikkun me'ishara. So he says over here that our machshavos naturally are affected by the blemishes of nature. And our midos also need fixing, meaning we are created in a way that we are not perfect. We are created in a way that our nature is geared more towards certain things. I saw a pshat, I don't know if the Arizal or the Zoyar, I saw a pshat that in Parshas Lech Lecha, when it says that Avram Avinu went to Mitzrayim, and I think it was brought in the name of the Arizal. Then Avram Avinu went to Mitzrayim, so he noticed that Sarah was beautiful. So there are different mafarshim. Rashi over here there says already two pshatim. Either he didn't know before and he only knew now, or he knew before, but it didn't mean anything specifically until now we have to worry about it. But I saw a pshat in the name of the Arizal that Avram Avinu was holding on a level of Adam Rishon Koydem Achet before he went down to Mitzrayim. Meaning, Adam Rishon Koydem Achet, Adam Rishon before he sinned, the physical body wasn't something that the Yetzer Hara had control over. The physical body was something as a tool that was used to serve Hashem. And that's why Adam and Chava weren't embarrassed, because they're here doing Ratzon Hashem. There is no internal taiva that the body is pushing somebody towards gashi, towards physicality. That was only put into man after he ate from the Eitz Hadas. This push towards the desire for physical things or for physicalness was only put into man after Adam Rishon ate from the Eitz Hadas. So Avram Avinu was holding on this level before he went to Mitzrayim, but by the time he was on his way to Mitzrayim, just the air, the atmosphere, getting closer to Mitzrayim already had such an effect on him that he started noticing physicality.
It cannot be differentiated.
Right? It's the airwaves, right? It's the airwaves that had such an effect on us. We are holding in a place where our physical bodies are naturally now, after the chet of the Eitz Hadas, pushing us towards physical things. Our midos that we're born with need tikkun. Every single person needs to work on their midos. The Vilna Gaon says that a person was brought into this world to work on their midos. That's what our tachlis is here. How are we going to work on our midos? Which midos we need to work on are going to all based on the different situations that HaKadosh Baruch Hu put us in. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu dafka puts us into those situations because he knows which midos we need to work on. Specifically, imagine for a second, you go up to Shamayim after 120 years, and, they have everything you did and written down, and they tell you after going through the whole thing, well, you got to go back to earth. Like, what do you mean? I did all these mitzvahs, I did this and this and that, and I did all these things. Why do I have to go back down to earth? He said, because you didn't fulfill your tachlis. What do you mean I didn't fulfill my tachlis? Well, what was my tachlis supposed to be? Well, you're supposed to be, certain work on certain midos, and you didn't. But you say, but what do you mean? I was never given the opportunity to work on those midos. I never was tested in those areas. Now, would that be fair? Would it be fair to say that, you had a certain tachlis in life and you never fulfilled it because you were never given those opportunities to fulfill it? So Hashem doesn't do that. Hashem gives each and one of us the specific things, the specific challenges that we need in order to fulfill our tachlis. So when there are things that seem very, very hard for us, it's a sign that that's exactly what Hashem wants you to accomplish. This is the reason why you're brought here on this world. Certain things you don't even realize. They're the hardest things in the world for us. I wish I wasn't in this situation. I wish I didn't have to deal with this. When it could very well be that's the whole reason why you're here on this planet. This is the reason why you're here. They bring from David that David HaMelech desperately wanted to be the fourth leg of the Merkava, whatever that means. It's obviously a very special high madrega that only the Avos HaKadoshim were roy to this madrega. And David HaMelech, there are four legs of the chariot of Hashem, and the first three legs were Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. And I don't know why Moshe wasn't one of them, but they needed the regular Revi Shalom Merkava, the fourth leg of the Merkava. And David HaMelech desperately wanted to reach that level that he was zoiche to that. And he even asked Hashem to test him so that he would be roy for it, and he failed the test. But in the end, he did become the regular Revi Shalom Merkava. In a completely different way. In a completely different way, when he was at his lowest point, when he was running away from his own son, who rebelled against him, and was trying to kill him, and was destroyed his home, and destroyed Klal Yisrael. And at the lowest point, a great Talmid Chacham named Shimi ben Gera cursed him. And instead of taking revenge on Shimi ben Gera, he told his soldiers that had stuck with him to leave him alone. Because Hashem wanted this to happen. Hashem wanted him to curse me. And because David HaMelech was able to withstand this terrible nisayon, and it says in Malachim Aleph, when David HaMelech is on his deathbed, and he tells Shlomo, he gives Shlomo instructions. Okay, there's certain people you need to take care of. And he describes how Shimi ben Gera cursed him. He calls it klola nimretzes. It was so hurtful, so painful for him. What Shimi ben Gera did, and yet he didn't do anything back. Yet he held back, but he knew what properly needs to be done was there needed to be something done. Shimi ben Gera needed to get an onish for his own soul, in order that he shouldn't burn in Gehenna. For his own self, he needed to get, and for other reasons, David HaMelech thought that now was the right time on his deathbed. He needs to tell his son Shlomo how to take care of the situation. But he himself, this was his tachlis, his most difficult moment of his life. And David HaMelech had plenty difficult moments of his life. He had a son who rebelled against him and tried to kill him. He had a father-in-law who tried to kill him. His parents didn't exactly love him so much. His brothers didn't really seem to think that he was much of a brother, right? He didn't really have too many. And his best friend, well, he can't be his best friend anymore because his best friend's father is trying to kill him. So it wasn't exactly the funnest life that David HaMelech had. He did have a very, very difficult life. But you see the lowest point, his greatest challenge that he ever had, that's what gave him the zchus. So we don't even realize we're here to fix our midos in this world. And we complain about those situations that we have to fix our midos on. Could be that's the very reason why we're here on this earth, is for that. So who's going to fix them? Mi yashreim, mi takneim, im lo nasim lev aleim, lo nidaktik b'davar diktu gadol. Who's going to fix our midas for us? Who's going to fix those natural drives that are pushing us towards Gashmias? They're pushing us away from Hashem, and they're pushing us more just to physicality. Who's going to deal with that? Who's going to fix that if we don't spend time on it? How is that going to get done? Halo im iyanu al adavar iyun amiti. If a person really would take time to think about it, then a person really could improve. Well, we're improving ourselves. And then we can even teach others. We can help them too. If we do it for ourselves, we can help others. When we're coming to learn, right? The Mishnah says, so he's given the ability to teach. But if you loimid al day lasos, so you're giving also, I can do it and I can teach too. We're not just here to learn just so I can give over information, right? They tell a story They tell a story about, I don't remember which Greek philosopher. I don't want to speak Lashon Hara about the Greek philosophers without telling whichever name it was. I think it was Aristotle, right? That the great Greek philosophers who pondered the universe and the purpose of life and the purpose of the universe and all of these wonderful things. And you could say these were the most moral people in the world. They were the most moral people in the world. And one time he was caught doing something that wasn't so moral. And they asked him, you, of all people, you do this thing? And he said, well, let me ask you, the one who teaches math, is he a square? Right? The one who teaches chemistry, he's he's atoms and, well, he is atoms and molecules, but, okay, so I teach moral. That means I have to be that way. And then he pointed to his head. He said, from here and up is Aristotle. From here and down is just like everybody else. Just like everybody else. It doesn't have an effect. It's very nice. It's a philosophical, fun way. People enjoy mental gymnastics. They enjoy it. Chachma, it can be a very, different types of chachma can be very enjoyable. It gives a person a challenge to figure out how do you do this, and it's a very, on an intellectual level, that can be extremely enjoyable. But who says that has an effect on me? Who says that's going to change me? Who says that? So a person can learn Musar for somebody else. I'm not learning it for myself. I'm learning it for him. Learning it to give Musar to that guy. If we do it for ourselves, then we're going to be able to do it for others as well. But we have to understand, we all need tikkun. We all need to take the time to do this. This is what the Pasuk says in Mishlei, Im tivakshena kekesev v'katmatmoinim tichapsena ad Yiras Hashem. If a person searches for it, what are we talking about? Yiras Hashem. If a person searches for Yiras Hashem like he would be searching for money, then you'll get it. It's so sad that there's so many people out there that put so much emphasis in building up their bank account, and they don't put in so much effort in building up themselves. And it's very, very sad, because the time will come when they'll look back at themselves and they'll either be very disappointed with themselves, or they won't even know who they are. And they'll wonder, why did this happen to me? Why did that happen to me? It's like the richest people are the ones with the biggest shalom bayis problems. How much time and effort are you putting into your marriage? I'm putting all my time and effort into my business. What am I doing? How much time am I running after improving myself like somebody would run after money? It's very easy to understand people running after money. People are willing to sell their lives for money. It's incredible. It really, from people even, are willing to do that, to sell their lives completely for money. And they forget about what the most important thing in life is. Maybe they never realized, they never understood in the first place what the most important thing in life is. That's it. Money, money, money. That's it. I heard a story. It's probably a true story. It's probably a story this could have happened with a lot of people. There are two people. There was the Rav of the shul, and there was the Gvir in the shul. The children of the Rav in the shul all went into business. And the children of the Gvir of the shul all went into learning. All went into Klei Kodesh. How do you explain this? How do you explain what happened? So very simple. You go to the Rav's house, and the Rav, when he's talking and his children here, what is he talking about? He's talking about who are the people who are supporting the shul. This one has money and that one has money. We have to give him honor. We got to give that one honor because he's supporting this, he's supporting that. We have to. So they hear in the home that, who's chashuv? The people with the money are chashuv. So they all want to become the people who have money. And the Gvir, what did he hear? Obviously, you have to be a very chashuv Gvir to say this also. But he wakes up early. Before Shach, he's already learning a Seder. And whenever he's at home, he makes sure he's speaking Torah, and he has a Seder, and he has a Chavrusa. Yeah, he has a big business. But what's chashuv to him? What do the kids see that's chashuv to him? Yeah, he donates. What does he do with his money? He's machshav Torah. He's machshav this yeshiva and that mikvah and this sukkah and this. And he's mechabit Talmidei Chachamim. They host Talmidei Chachamim. You see how he gives cover to them. So that's what the kids see. I want to be like that. I want to be chashuv too. So what do we spend our time doing? search after Yiras Shamayim, like a person who search after money. And then Shlomo Melech, when he said this, he understood what people running after money. That's not a secret. Eino Eimer, as tavin filosofio, as tavin tchuna, as tavin refuah, as tavin dinim, as tavin halachos. Ela as tavin Yiras Hashem. A person can be very bright. You can be very, very bright. You can be brilliant. And you can understand any type of chachma. You can be brilliant and nuclear physics comes really easy to you. You can be a brilliant mathematician. You can be a brilliant philosopher. You can have an IQ on, 1,000, 2,000, 8,000, whatever. I don't know how they measure IQ even. It's easy. Do you know why? Because that's a gift. Hashem gave you that gift. You don't have to search for it necessarily. You just have it. Yiras Shamayim doesn't work like that. Yiras Shamayim, a person has to run after. You have to go for it. You're not going to have it. Just because you're born to be the son of the Gadol Hador doesn't make you, it's not going to make you into the next Gadol Hador. I'm not going to say names now. But there are famous Gedolei Hador that their children were not even close. Not even close. Just because you're born into something doesn't mean that automatically it's going to be that way. Yeah, a person has to work on it themselves. To really have Yiras Shamayim, you really have to search for it like you would search after money. Just like a regular stam person is running after money, that's how we have to run after Yiras Shamayim. We see this. This is something that you can see clearly everywhere in the world. A person will not get it. Person will not be able to improve their midos, to improve their machshavos, to straighten their lives, to be able to fulfill their tachlis in the world without putting in that effort. Everybody has to do it. It's scary. It means being honest with yourself. One of the first things when we'll get to Be'ezus Hashem, I hope, is one of the first things that a person has to learn to do is cheshbon hanefesh. He has to learn how to appropriately look at himself and say, hey, where am I holding? Am I on the right direction? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? To stop and take stock of yourself. Like a person who has a business. Sometimes, you're selling things. You have to stop. You have to close the business for a day. You usually do it twice a year. Once in the middle of the year and once at the very, very end of the year. We got to take stock. We got to see what's left in the store. We have to see certain things got ruined, certain things got stolen. We have to check. So that's what a person has to do for themselves. To stop. We'll see that later on. A person should really be doing that every day. This is hard work, Chevra. It's very, very hard work. And only a person who's truly committed to making themselves better is really going to be successful in doing it. But what better thing is there to do in the world? If I have something to work on, why not work on myself? Money comes and goes. That's what my Rebbe always said. Money is round because it rolls from one person to another. Well, nowadays, money's not round anymore. Nowadays is shtarot, right? It's bills. So it's easier even because some wind comes and will blow all that money away. Very easy, right? Oh, yeah. Now it's online, right? Now there is no paper money anymore. So just like, a virus gets in there and your money disappears, right? Yes, somebody can steal your money. You never had it. You never will see it again. Money comes and money goes. What's the biggest thing for a person to work on? Myself. The more I work on myself, that's what I'm really going to have. Okay, we'll stop over here. Shkoyach.
Thank you for joining Real Judaism, where we explore Torah's wisdom for real life. Created by J Foundations and produced by Eli Podcast Productions. Find more episodes at realjudaism.org and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.